Hello, guys. Welcome to She Sports. We'll talk all things women's soccer. I'm your host, Kayla. I'm really excited for this episode and a bunch of soccer news to look at. Um, so yeah. So for one, start off here. Recent women's soccer news includes NCAA Division III collegiate season openers with notable wins and draws such as Hope College's 3-0 victory and RIT's 2-2 draw. In professional news, the NWSL North Carolina Courage secured their first win. Okay, so this is a little outdated, not gonna lie, because I was gonna say they pulled off their first win of the season. This one's a little outdated. I do agree with the NCAA because I know college soccer starting back up. But anyway, yeah, sure. Yeah, okay. Anyway, little yeah, much there. Okay, girls soccer. So we're gonna look at 9 of the biggest impact transfers in NCAA women's soccer to watch this season. Um, Obviously the transfer portal has been a big thing. Um, Especially with the money that comes into it, and teams wanting to build players kind of wanting to build their brand while they're still in school. Um, and some of these names I really don't know how to say because I am so bad with names. It's one thing I don't love about this is names. Okay. I'm just trying to read this and all this like ads are my way. Um, so Sophia Cavalieri, Cavalieri. I could be totally so wrong on that. So sorry for anyone's names I butcher. Midfielder, graduate senior, Columbia to USC. Yeah. One of the best players in the Ivy League last season for Columbia. The grad student started all 45 games for the Lions over her 4 years in New York and was first team All Ivy. We've seen numerous Ivy League programs in top 25 rankings over the years. It's a strong mid-major conference with solid players. Cavalieri has already played in a few games for the Trojans and will be a nice addition to the midfield. Especially like a big name school like USC that is pretty good. Irene Campos, midfielder, sophomore, South Alabama to Purdue. Get familiar with the name because she is going to take college soccer by storm this year. Campos was the offensive player of the year in the Sun Belt Conference and an easy first team All Sun Belt selection. Campos recorded 12 goals and 6 assists for the Jaguars, which is impressive coming from the midfield position. Since transferring to Purdue, she already has 2 goals and assists in 3 games early on. She's made the transition into non-conference play. Keep an eye on her when the Big Ten game rolls around. She's going to make an impact. Um, Kennedy Bell, defender slash midfielder, junior, Maryland to Michigan State. Kennedy Bell was one of the most underrated defenders in the nation at Maryland last season. She hasn't missed a game in her 2 years as a defender and has already made an impact for Michigan State. It appears the Spartans are using Bell in a different capacity and have moved her up the pitch in 3 games for Michigan State. Bell has 3 goals and assists to her name. Looks like we're going to see Kennedy Bell get forward and score some more goals this year. She's on pace to become an all Big Ten player if she consistently produces this season. Liza Sudan. I'm probably totally messing that up. Midfielder, junior, Monmouth to Louisville. Another former small school midfielder leaping to a major conference. She was the Freshman of the Year in the CAA in 2023 and co-CAA Midfielder of the Year in 2024. She was essentially the best player in the conference, dazzling with 9 goals and 4 assists since coming to Louisville. Has already made a big difference with 2 goals and an assist in 4 games. If anyone is going to help turn Louisville around this season, she's going to play a big part in that. Okay. I really don't want to mess this up. So I'm looking at the Girls Soccer Network right now. Because I didn't say that earlier. But I know it's not how you say it. Like, Uching, defender, sophomore, Syracuse, and to Iowa. That is a pretty big jump. She's an exciting prospect who played for Canada at the last U17 World Cup. The defender had a solid first season at Syracuse and decided to take a step up in competition and move to the Big Ten to play for Iowa, as we know well at GSN, thanks to Sam. Iowa is known for having strong defense. She has a chance to be the next great defender for the Hawkeyes and has an assist through her first 3 games in Iowa City. Be sure to remember her name in a few years. Lila Booker, defender, graduate senior, Yale to Georgia. She's one of the best defenders in the Ivy League for the last few seasons. Booker burst onto this scene at Yale in 2022, earning first team All-Ivy League and second team All-Ivy League over the next 2 seasons. With an extra year of eligibility, Booker used her final year to transfer to the SEC, or I'd like to say SEC, and play for Georgia. Booker has played key minutes for the Bulldogs so far, including a 2-1 win over North Carolina most recently. Expect her to be an impact defender for Georgia this season. Una McCormick, midfielder, junior, Virginia to Florida State. Was a key piece of Virginia's midfield for the last 2 seasons before moving to Tallahassee. She was due to have a big season as a sophomore for Virginia, but missed half of it due to the U20 World Cup. Virginia is one of the premier programs in college soccer, but Florida State is one of the very few that can say they've achieved more. They're competing for national championships year in, year out, which makes it easy to see why McCormick chose Florida State. Her best pass in the I don't know what is wrong with me. Best path to the pros is through the that's Florida State, right? It's through Florida State. McCormick is on pace to do that if she has 2 good years in Florida. Sophie Real, forward, junior, UCLA to Boston College. And I do actually remember this name. Sophie Real followed her sister Lily Real to UCLA initially, but lack of playing time last season likely led to her departure. A Massachusetts native, the move closer to home at Boston College makes more sense, considering the playing time she's going to receive. In 3 games for the Eagles, Real has already has a goal matching her entire output at UCLA over 2 years. It's time for college soccer to see what Sophie Real can do in a tough ACC conference. Larkin Thompson. I'm gonna lose my voice today, guys. Forward, junior, Mercer, Alabama. Alabama boosted its scoring with a true striker in Larkin. Thompson might not start for the Crimson Tide, but she's going to do what she does best, and that's score goals. She racked up 26 goals in 2 years at Mercer, and she was the player of the year in the SoCon in 2024. The former Mercer star has already proven she's ready for the big stage with a goal and assist off the bench against Michigan. If you love watching goal scorers, tune into some Alabama games this year and watch work her magic as a super sub, at least for this season. And that is all for that one. Yeah, that was, I thought that was 9. It did not feel like 9, it felt like more. So then I was kind of looking at some for game changers. We were kind of, especially for myself, when looking, I had all these like tabs saved. I guess I only got like 2 things. About the new Denver women's soccer team. The NWSL has announced it has awarded Denver, Colorado the league's 16th franchise, which it did. It's set to begin play in the 2026 season. I can't do that. It's comprised of robust owner groups that include a local and national investors. Still finalizing plans for a purpose-built stadium for professional women's soccer and a dedicated performance facility, which honestly I thought was pretty cool looking into that, because I had heard about it, but looking into it, like you see now a lot of places like teams making either like practice facilities for their teams, you know, full base like stadiums for their women's teams, all that. And I think that's like really cool. And Denver's the next one to do it. I was actually gonna look up one thing. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna listen to moving. Acts like I know it's spell. Yeah. So obviously Denver is like I think the second team that would be doing it, because Kansas City is the first, where theirs is all theirs was dedicated to their women's team. Obviously heard Portland has, this isn't just soccer related, but they have a facility for they broke ground on it a while ago. I'm pretty sure it's still like going, but they're putting it in Hillsboro, for a dedicated space for the Portland Fire, and for the Portland Thorns, a women's built practice facility. So I think that's pretty cool, and it'll be exciting to see, especially when it comes to like women's soccer games, how everything looks. So, anyway, that is all I have for you guys today. I do hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and I will see you guys next week. And don't forget, we are on YouTube, Podcast Player. Why am I literally just did this. Amazon Podcast, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, Spotify. So yeah, honestly, I can't wait for you to see it, and wherever you are streaming us. Thank you. Peace.